I was really, really ill. I had severe acne, I had severe period pains, I had widespread chronic pain, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, IBS, food allergies, sleep problems, anxiety, depression. I was suicidal. I had all of these problems, and no matter how many doctors, consultants, homeopaths, dietitians, kinesiologists, healers that I went to, I was getting worse. Lots of diagnoses, but no explanation and no roadmap for recovery. And this was very painful. I was on a lifelong journey of trying to resolve this and look for answers until I discovered TMS, tension myoneural syndrome, and the mind body connection. 30 years of IBS resolved in 2 weeks. Just so grateful for this journey, and I really, really, truly wish it for everyone. My name is Aoife. And as a child, I was really sick. I had pyrexia of unknown origin, which means I ran fevers for no apparent reason. I also complained of tummy aches often. I would often not have energy. I had candida, low immune system. And I was also highly sensitive. And my whole life was a search for better health. And from a young age, that meant trying out all kinds of different things. So I went through all the conventional medical care systems, and I also tried all of the alternative care systems with elimination diets, food intolerance testing, homeopathy, acupuncture. I studied holistic therapy when I was older. I did everything, and this was a life cycle, really, because when I had exhausted all options, I would just go back to the start again, back to the consultants, back to the scans. And this just went on and on and on. And eventually I was allergic to life. I had been diagnosed by a top pediatrician in Ireland as mystery girl. I had a plethora of health problems. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I had chronic pain, and I was eventually just allergic to life. I had so many triggers I had to avoid my whole life. I just had to control my days. I was so scared of a flare-up, and I was hoping that if I managed my entire day in a very meticulous and particular way, that I would just kind of stay afloat. And then in 2017, this system that was clearly not a great system fell apart when I experienced the death of a dear friend. She took her own life, and a car crash and a bad relationship. And I had no more room left to hold any more stress in my body, and I completely fell apart. Luckily for me, I was really open and really determined to get better, and I came across TMS and the Mind Body Connection through the Curable Pain Relief app. And through the app, I found out about Dr. Sarno, and I bought every single book there is to get. And one of those books was Steve Ozanich's The Great Pain Deception. So I booked a call with Steve, and we chatted. We had a few chats. And some things for me resolved very quickly. Within 2 weeks, I resolved 30 years of IBS, food intolerances. And from that moment on, I have not experienced any IBS. I can eat any food that I like, whenever I like, and there is no problem. Whereas there was a time when a crumb of gluten or a crumb of sugar would send me into a flare-up for days, weeks, months. So this was just the greatest moment of my life, to discover this mind-body connection and this work with Steve. And from then on, I have just been getting stronger and resolving more and more symptoms, things I didn't even dream I would be free of. My sleep is improving all the time. I used to have boils on my face. I had acne. I had candida. I also, in my personal life, I had a lot of issues with relationships, romantic relationships. It's just, this is the mind-body connection. It just includes everything. It's not that like carpal tunnel syndrome is separate to IBS, is separate to fibromyalgia, is separate to getting cold sores, is separate to period pain, is separate to acne, is separate to relationship problems, is separate to fighting with your parents, is separate. These things, nothing is separate. In fact, everything is inseparable. And that is the genius of this healing, because instead of life and healing being so complicated, such a chore, such a mission, it's so simple. It's just simplified. Everything just went from ping, 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 to zoom, literally. And it just gets simpler and simpler and simpler. And the simpler it gets, the faster I grow and heal more and can support other people to go on this path also. So I hope this was helpful for someone to hear. And now I have more peace, more love, more joy, more health, more energy than I've ever had in my entire life. So I'm 35 years old, and I just feel better and healthier and happier than I have ever since I was probably a newborn baby. And I am profoundly grateful for Dr. Sarno and for Steve for passing on these teachings and telling their stories and being available to share this wisdom, because it is the gift that keeps on giving. It keeps on growing and just gets better and better and easier and simpler and simpler. So I'm so happy for you if you have come to this video, to this wall, and that you're finding these teachings and this wisdom. And I hope you feel hopeful or supported, or I hope you just dive right in and get the job done, because great things are waiting for you. So this was just the greatest moment of my life, to discover this mind-body connection and this work with Steve